Hello everyone, myself Shekhar Tyagi, Assistant Professor in CSE Department, IMT College of Engineering. In today's lecture, I will be teaching you about introduction of artificial intelligence. What actually is artificial intelligence? What are the approaches we generally use for artificial intelligence? I will be discussing certain examples, some certain real life examples concerned with artificial intelligence and what are the basic entities, what are the basic components that an artificial system or we can say a robotic machine generally shares, and what are the issues with the artificial intelligence machines, what are the challenges, what are the ethical issues being concerned with artificial intelligence machines that I will discuss one by one with you. So starting from the very first slide, this is the first slide. These types of movies you particularly have enjoyed a lot. So in these type of movies, you will be encountered with different types of robotics approach, different types of artificial approach, very common approach that you have might encountered with. In the next, these are some real life problems. Like first one you are being seen, it's a Mars rover. As you all know that it was being launched by NASA towards the Mars mission, and it's the most specialized outer space robot that particularly exists in our outer space. It's There are basically two types of robots as far as artificial machines are concerned. First kind of robotics are basically supervised robotics, and in supervised robotics basically these machines are based on some set of coding instructions, and these machines only perform those tasks that are being assigned to them, right? But there is another category of machine that is unsupervised learning, unsupervised robotics, unsupervised artificial intelligence machines that basically learn from the surroundings, right? Whatever the info from the environment, whatever the challenges, whatever the new consequences they learn, these algorithms generally train the robots or generally the artificial intelligence machines to behave on the outskirts of what they learned from particular environment. So this is the very first real life example of artificial intelligence machine that you might have been familiar with. It's Mars rover. Okay. Now in the second example we are seeing is a particular computer that was being launched in the year 1997, and its name was Deep Blue, right? So Deep Blue was the first artificial intelligence based computer that defeated a human, uh, Gary Kasparov, who was the number one chess player of those days. He was from Russia. So on 11th May 1997, Deep Blue becomes the first artificial intelligence based computer which particularly defeated a particular person, a human, within a second. Right. Third diagram, very crucial diagram that you are being with there, is a robotic arm in a particular production company. Basically, in the early 1980s, most of the industries have adopted this kind of basically platform over the production line where robotics was used at an abundant speed, at an abundant pace, and most of the industries were switching towards robotics, be either production companies or some medical diagnostic companies. So this is a production line, and on this production line, you will be seeing that there is a robot, there is a robotic arm that is basically working for product product manufacturing. We can say this one, the face recognition system, the face detection biometrics. The biometrics are of different types. We generally have different type of biometric machines applicable, like thumb machines, fingerprinting machines, iris recognition systems, and the most commonly used nowadays because of COVID-19 is face detection machines. Most of the industries, most of the organizations have been switched to face recognition systems due to some protocols during the COVID-19 period. So face detection machines are generally based on some set of, some set of algorithms have been used in this for over which they can be just contain the replica of the face image of their employees database. And whenever an employee just encountered in place of the face detection machine, the machine captures the current scenario, current replica, current image, we can say, of the particular employee, and matches with the replicated image that it might have consisting in their database. So basically two types of algorithms that are being used nowadays are Gabor filter based approach and Bayesian filter approach. We will discuss them later on this artificial intelligence topics. So these kind of machines generally allow some algorithms that if there is a matching constraint of above 90%, 95% matching is there from the replicated image and the current image, then they will allow the system as a verified user or an authenticated user, we can say. And these types of machines will generally used for authentication of particular employee, that whether he or she is there existing in there and for some attendance type of measure. These types of machines are at large scale used. One of the common, not common, but very effective kind of, we can say, a biometric machine that has recently developed is DNA fingerprint. As we know that DNA is basically the, we can say, the building block of a human body, and it's the most genetic material which is very independent to human species. Every human species shares a particular different kind of a DNA. So DNA fingerprinting is the most authenticated, most genuine, most precise type of, we can say, particular face detection like biometric, which generally authenticate a person at a larger extent. It's also used for some formal verifications and informal verification whenever there is some set of firewalls. Artificial intelligence based firewalls have been developed recently in the market, but the most common approach that in which artificial intelligence have been used consistently over the past, we can say, last 10 years scenario is in medical line. As you all know that in India also, like in big hospitals like AIMS and RMLs, there are some kind of surgeries possible through robots, like some surgeries, very complex type of surgeries that have been associated with the brain surgeries, brain tumor surgeries, throat cancer surgeries. Some sort of transplantations are also there, cornea transplantation of the eye. Means these are some miniatures associated with certain specific tasks that whenever these sort of algorithms, whenever these sort of performances are to be evaluated, then they require a more human care, okay, more than comparable as to human. Precision and accuracy is highly required. So whenever precision and higher accuracy tasks are to be performed, then we can switch over to robots. So robots are basically performing some sort of robotic surgery. Whenever there is, let's say, whenever there is a minor cut of 1 or 2 microns, we need to deploy in a particular surgery. So in this particular scenario, human might be failed. But as far as robot will never fail, and never fail means there is less number of chances that error will be generated through a robot, through a AI machine, because the main practical scenario of AI machine is that precision and accuracy. So these types of surgeries, these types of complex surgeries will be performed with the help of robotics, and robots performs very well these types of medical surgeries. And in the US and the United Kingdom, the pioneer hospitals throughout the world of these super nations, it's been a common task that these type of surgeries are being performed in the past and in the present scenario as well. And apart from these surgeries, there are basically various domains as far as medical science is concerned that have been used most commonly for, we can say, for medical field. And the first type of example of this is like the fitness bands we generally wear in our wristband, and they provide an exact count of how our blood pressure, how our the pulse rate been executed. So these types of medical imaging diagnosis, these types of medical tools have been recently developed with the help of artificial intelligence. And based on these, there are some other factors like post and prior medical challenges. Like someone is having a diabetes, then what is the chances that in the next 6 months, what will be the level of diabetes that he might be suffered with, right? What kind of other kind of sincere activities that can be developed that may regulate his diabetic flow. These kind of analysis reports are basically generated through artificial intelligence machines that no doubt will be preventing the disease from happening, or we can say that disease from basically making an increase in the human body. These will be protected. Now the very much concerning issue is that why there should be an interest in AI. What are the factors? What are the major factors concerned that a human, or we can say a particular branch, we can say a particular domain, why there should be an interest in AI? So there are basically, I have used some pictorial representations that in the current scenario as well as in the coming by days. As you know that software industries have also started switching robots in place of humans for general coding activities, day-to-day testing activities, and likewise facility managing jobs. So as far as 2020, 2000, later on period, 2030, 2040, the coming generation will see a very high trend in basically when employees will be generating some robots to control them, and they will be outdated with the robots. The robots will be performing all the required tasks, essential tasks. The next image is of Mars rover. As we have discussed in the first slide, Mars rover was launched by NASA, and it's nearly 14-15 years have been passed, and it's been working very well. It's an unsupervised robot that takes the decision on its own, and it provide a very vital information from the Mars surface, that what is the crystalline structure of the Mars, what are the climatic conditions over there, and what kind of basically we can say the metal formation in the soil, what kind of soil content is shared. So all these relevant information over the past 13, 14, 14, 15 years, we can say, have been provided by the Mars robot at a very large extent, and with very compatibility and with very, we can say, privacy and with accuracy of information has been shared by Mars robot. And this information is further processed with some set of digital image processing algorithms that are very highly skilled AI-based algorithms. And search engine is also the third figure. You will see in this search engine we generally use like Google, Yahoo. So search engine is basically based on certain sets of algorithms like friend functions and text creation, text miners, optimization. There are various techniques over which a search engine provides a particular keyword, and on the basis of these keywords, we particularly provided with a particular exact set of results that we were searching for. So search engines optimization, search engine, Google robots, like in Google we use Google robots for search engine optimization. So these types of activities are basically prevailing in the current scenario, and search engines no doubt are performing very well as far as AI activity is concerned over a web domain. Appliances, you all might be very much aware with appliances. There are various types of appliances, we can say, like wristbands, like fast track, like smartwatches. You really must have encountered these types of things, that these are very advanced, and they particularly generate some sort of parametric values that can be made to deductible from the particular set of hardware and the software tools they basically use with. And my medical diagnosis, very vast field. Defense and medical diagnosis have generally utilized the AI knowledge from the past, from the present scenario, and they are the fields. They are the two such fields we can say that have been using this sort of artificial intelligence at a very larger extent, be it robotic surgery or be it anti-ballistic missiles that have been developed over the past years by the superpowers such as China, Japan. So these types of we can say these types of developments in the recent years have forged each domain, each branch, be it electronics, mechanical, civil, right, being biomedical engineering have been emerged due to this AI-based approach, we can say. And there is a separate department that has been formed in neural sciences. You might have encountered this term before. So neural science basically is the study of how neurons basically work, how they are being made to learn from the environment, how they have been able to make machine to behave like a human, to take decisions, to particularly perform some set of values. So these recent domains, these recent types of developments have made the artificial intelligence a booming field. So it's very much of interest, and it's been a consistent effort that we should adopt these types of changes as positive changes. Although there are some negative changes of the AI also on the society as far as ethical concerns are concerned, because in the coming generations, I do believe that we will be making more defense equipments that might be used for destruction, like satellite guided missiles have been developed, and there are various there are very concerning issues might be there, like unemployment due to robotics being involved in each and every industry. Like Wipro headquarters in Bangalore last year deployed 8 robots, and they have to lay off 250 engineers for the sake of these 8 robots, because they were being able to perform the domestic tasks like software testing, coding, day-to-day activities of software companies very well. Because the major concern with robotics is that they are very timely, they use very timely approach, and they are generally not get fatigued like a human, so they can be made to work in more than two shifts. They can be made to work 24 hours a day with very tremendous type of efficiency that I think no human can basically possess. So this kind of approach that the artificial intelligence machines over the years have been using have tremendously make uh, the scenario that in the coming years that there might be cases of more and more unemployment. But as far as certain specific components, certain specific applications like medical diagnosis and medical imagery, brain mappings are concerned, so it's a revolutionary field. AI is a revolutionary field. So on the prospective side, on the pros, we can say that yes, AI is very interesting and we must adopt AI at a larger scale. Now, what is an AI? Over the few years, we have been encountered this term so many times. What is AI? AI. In general speaking, Dr. John McCarthy was regarded as the father of artificial intelligence. It was in the year 1956 that he first time written a particular software code that worked as an AI tool, and it was written in Lisp. This was a very famous language, and starting programs of the artificial intelligence were made to execute him. Uh, Basically made to execute in Lisp programming. Later Python was adopted, and right now Python is the main tool for writing artificial intelligence codes, because Python is very, we can say, very simplified approach it generally uses for framing up of intelligent software programs that AI might have to use this. So artificial intelligence is nothing, it's a science, we can say it's an engineering for making machine to behave like a human. We can say that machine adopts the human behavior, human traits, human decision making like intelligence, the computational power like a human process. It's said that a human in its lifetime uses 3 to 4% of the human brain. So we are just very getting close to make a machine like Sophia has been developed, Eliza has been developed, a particular very specified robot that particularly generates, we can say, an efficiency just comparable to a human being. So AI is the science of making intelligent programs. We can say that AI basically makes the programs very simplified. It makes tremendous, remarkable, we can say, adaptation as far as different industries, different verticals over the past years have been concerned. So what is AI? You can say basically in one sentence, AI is the science of making a human brain in a particular machine. So a machine should behave like a human. It particularly set the instructions. It particularly obtain the natural processing generation, so that it can behave on the instructions of human, or basically learn from the surroundings unsupervised. We can say that. So artificial intelligence is the method through which we generally making artificial neurons. As you know that neurons are the basic cells of brain, which particularly are regarded as the learning capacity of a brain, due to which a brain learns. So we are just making in artificial intelligence, we are just trying to make some intelligent code that can be comparable to human neurons, and we make a system with a artificial intelligence algorithms, and these will be termed as artificial neural networks. There are various categories of artificial neural networks that we will be discussing in some advanced topics later on. But AI is nothing. AI is about the study of the human brain. How can we developed in a particular machine? How can brain be developed in a machine? How can brain be modified? How can brain actually be incorporated in a particular machine is about AI. Next question that arises mostly is that what is an intelligence? Intelligence is nothing, it's a computational part that we as a human perform on daily to daily basis. Be it any kind of instructions we get, be it any kind of movement we do, it's all about intelligence. So the most challenging thing about artificial intelligence development is that how can a human brain, how can the complexity of human brain be normalized into a particular machine? It's the most important challenge. And the next challenge is that uh, how to incorporate natural language in a robot, in a particular AI machine, that it maybe make to, we can say, communicate with a human. Like how can it be made to communicate with a human? How can it communicate with a human, and what kind of actions it can perform with a human? Because it's very important for a robot or for an artificial intelligence machine to behave in such a manner that it basically gets what a human has been instructed for, right? What the human instruction, what the particular kind of code has been instructed in a particular robot, what kind of basically creating, what kind of basically we can say what kind of intelligent code it will be creating. So these are some important tasks that need to be captured while studying for artificial intelligence. There is a working definition of artificial intelligence. We can also regard it as a practical definition of AI. So what actually it means, what is the meaning of that particular definition of AI? AI as a practical approach basically works on that there are two factors, precision and accuracy. And artificial intelligence machine should not commit any mistakes, because if you say that, for example, we can see in a general example that a robot is performing some sort of medical surgery, right? It's dealing with some brain kind of surgery, and there is a cut requirement of only 2 microns, but mistakenly it has committed 2.5 microns, then it will be fatal for the person. It will be fatal for the human, we can say, that might be performing that might be undergoing the surgery. So we can say that artificial intelligence is, as a practical approach, is should be error free, should be errorless. So that's the main concern, that the working definition states that precision, accuracy, and errorless behavior of an artificial intelligence, which is the most sought basically parameter that should be considered while developing the AI-based machine. AI purposes, there are two objectives. We can say there are two aims that an AI machine basically should aim for. First is that we need to develop those computers, those computing machines that can think more than a human, that can make decisions more than a human, that can decide, that can perceive intelligence more than a human. According to Dr. Hart Simon, there is a particular requirement of making machines that might work more than a human, that might generate efficiency more than a human, and for this, the main concern is that they should be errorless. They should work with more precision. They should work with more accuracy. As far as robotics is concerned, the domain specified purpose is that they should be errorless, and computing machine should be more powerful than a human. So this is the main aim for artificial intelligence. Although the specified robot that have been constructed utilizes only 1% of the human brain, but in the nearby future there are specific chances that we might be getting very, very, very supervised robots, very we can say very specialized robots in the coming domain. What's easy and what's hard to develop for a robotics, what are the constraints, what is generally easier for a robot to do, and what the things that harder for a robot to do or an artificial intelligence machine. So basically these type of activities that require some mental computations, that require some intelligence computations, like proving theorems, mathematical theorems, playing chess, and there's some aspects of medical diagnosis. It's far common, it's a far easier task for a robot to process with, but there are certain tasks associated with, like some kind of motion activities are there. If we want to generate if we want to design, we want to incorporate a robot that can run 100-meter race, that it will be very, very complex to design, very, very complex to code, and such type of computation requires really very tremendous type of effort. And the next thing is that, like humans, we generally senses things with our sense organs, eyes, ears, and the most common is skin, right? Which generally prevails what in the surroundings we are basically observing. But in case of robots, such type of sensory information is rare, right? Such type of sensory information doesn't exist. So it's very, very you can say uncommon or very tedious task to generally develop sensory information for a robot. And robot generally cannot work in a team spirit. Like in last year, I can say just an example. In Facebook headquarters in Palo Alto, a particular team of robots were deployed, and they start communicating in their own language. They generate in their own programming language and damage the servers, right? So these type of activities might be very fatal, very hazardous for some development tasks to be that robots generally perform in team is not an exactly excellent stats. So teamwork in robots is just very hypothetical looking thing as far as present scenario is concerned. Whatever in the future is just unpredictable. But right now, the tendency of the robot is not to work in a team, right? And there are also some other sorts of complex problems. There are some sorts of complex problems that we can say differential equations, in which there is consistently robot has to require information from the past differential equation sets from order 1, order 2. let's say if he has to compute, if an artificial intelligence machine has to compute order 3, then first it should have a knowledge of order 1 and order 2. So before getting order 1 and order 2, if certainly commits some sort of mistake, then the result will be in vain. Okay? That result will be particularly not of use. So generally the artificial intelligence machines are basically, we can say that they fail in the case of differential equations computation, right? History of AI, how AI is developed. First, what are the basically domains through which artificial intelligence has been developed? So there are different domains of artificial intelligence like computer science engineering, philosophy, mathematics, cognitive science, neural science that I have just explained in the previous slide. So the birth of AI was in the year 1943. There was a scientist Macaulay Pitts, right? He somehow doesn't state it at artificial intelligence term, but he made some logical programs for to be performed with certain specific programming languages like Pascal and Fortran. Alan Turing developed Turing machine in 1950. That was some sort of a logical machine, we can say. And later on in the year 1952, 1952 1969 was the early enthusiasm period, and there was a conference, Dartmouth conference was there in 1956, in which Dr. John McCarthy generally represented first time to the world that there is concept of artificial intelligence, there is a tool we developed in LIST. GPS was later on developed, global positioning system that we all might be familiar with. So Dr. Herbert Simon was the key investigator in developing GPS with his co-founder Alan Noble, and GPS, AI programming languages with automatic theory proving, game research. These are the histories which were developed during this enthusiasm period between 1952 and 1969. Later in the years 1966 to 1974, domain-specific tools for artificial intelligence were being developed, starting with knowledge representation paradigms and different types of paradigms. We can say there were different type of activity, different types of gaming theories. We can say that were developed in this era, and the later on period was 1969 to 1999, in which neural network based several artificial intelligence machines have been developed like Dendral, Mycene, Emycene, Prospectors. So these sort of informations were generally developed with this scenarios. AI became an industry. In the 1980s and early 1989, AI has become an industry and it has been abundantly used in the production lines. Various industries have started adopting artificial intelligence at a large scale. The period of last 30 years, right from 1992 to 2020, that the present scenario has been as a current trend, and we are basically using artificial intelligence in almost all the domains, be it software industry, be it production line, and any sort of industry we can say. So this was the basically introduction to artificial intelligence that I just depict in this my lecture, and over the next lecture that might be scheduled in the future aspect, I will be discussing more about how neural networks have been designed, how particular set of information can be conveyed in AI using artificial neural networks. So these things will be discussing in the next lecture. Thank you so much for patience listening. Thank you so much.